amount of people who are diagnosed with a mental illness, I would say that those numbers are skewed because just like you said, it's very taboo. There's a lot of stigma. And so the majority of people don't go and report that they have something going on. But just to kind of give you an idea of what we did find is that 1 in 4 adults, and that's approximately 61.5 million Americans, experience some type of mental illness in any given year. Again, that's 61.5 million Americans, and this is what has been reported. And so we know that there are a number of people who are suffering in silence. So can you imagine what the true statistics probably are? And you know, of that portion, approximately 20% are our young people. So you're looking at the violence and you're looking at the crime and just a lot of the other things that are going on with our youth. And it's not just because they don't have home training, as we want to say. No, a lot of them have other issues going on. And so until we begin to address what those issues are, you're going to continue to see these cycles and these patterns of violence and suicide and just alarming rates of drama. So some of those more popular things are, like you said, bipolar. We hear it all the time, but people really don't know what it means. We talk about ADHD. We talk about depression. We talk about anxiety. And so these are real things that people deal with. In our community, the majority of these disorders don't oftentimes happen in isolation. Typically, you know, someone who's depressed, they have a reason for being depressed. You know, there's something going on that they're experiencing that's making them sad. You know, we all get sad, but depression comes across when you're not eating or you're eating too much, you're not sleeping, or you're sleeping too much. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not getting up, washing yourself, changing your clothes, brushing your teeth, and those things that you need to do to survive, you stop doing. The things that you like to do, you have no desire to do anymore. So, you know, that's depression, anxiety. People say, well, I'm just anxious. Well, there's a little bit more to it than just being anxious. You are overcome with fear and worry, and you're constantly trying to figure out and make decisions and manipulate circumstances to happen the way that you want them to because you're afraid of what's going to happen on the outside of that. You talk about someone who's bipolar. You know, that's someone who has extremes. You go from being really down and depressed to really being, as people say, off the chain, you know, but just kind of manic, and you're just all over the place. You're exhibiting risky behaviors, or you're not thinking about consequences. So these are real, true things for a child that